Hi, parents at Washington Elementary. Dr. Galan, this is Mrs. McMaster, your assistant principal, and Dr. Galan and I wanted to put a quick screencast together for you so that you had all the information for our safe return of K-2 students, our special education cohorts, and third through fifth grade our English language development cohort to campus effective February 1st. We've made some updates to our school webpage, so we wanted to share them with you. So when you go to our webpage, washington.rbusb.org, you will instantly see a box that pops up that has to do with our kindergarten information events. If you have a student who is going to be coming to kindergarten, or you know about, if you have a neighbor or somebody who you know who's going to send their child to Washington, the greatest school in the South Bay, in my opinion, definitely make sure you check that out. But today our conversation is going to be focused on information about returning to school. So first things first, I wanted to review with you our place on the website where you can go to get information about our reopening protocol. So it's right here under Parent Information and Resources. If you click on 2020-2021, K-2 hybrid information, it'll take you to this document, which has been shared with our K-2 parents. It's pretty extensive. I'm not going to go through it with you, but this is our reopening guide. And it walks through every single detail related to reopening. You can find out our bell schedule, our arrival and dismissal windows, our student and staff algorithm for COVID symptoms, and we have all of our protocols and everything, all the work that we've done to put into getting our schools reopened is pretty much in this document. I'm going to go down to another document that is on this page, and this, parents, is let me make this zoom bigger. Oops, I don't want to do that. This is a copy of our screening questions. Now there's a clean copy of this attached to the e-blast that you are reading today. This is really important. Every morning before you bring your child to school, you need to go through these screening questions at home. And what we're asking our families to do is to be really thoughtful and honest when answering the screening questions. So it's a process where every single day we want you to really think about, your answers to them. So the first one is, my child has tested positive for COVID-19 in the last 14 days. If you answer yes to that, you're not bringing your child to our campus. If your child has been tested because of COVID-19 symptoms and you're waiting for results, again, that would be a yes. You're not bringing your child to campus. Let's listen in for number two. Number two is, does your child live in a household with a person who has COVID-19 symptoms and is waiting for a COVID test, or is waiting for test results, or has a confirmed COVID diagnosis? So again, if you answer yes to this question, you're not bringing your child to campus. If anyone in the household has COVID symptoms, is waiting for a test, is thinking like, oh, I haven't been feeling that good in the last couple of days, I'm going to go take a COVID test, do not bring your child to campus. Our protocol is that you call the front office or email the front office immediately and let us know what's going on. We also want you to notify your child's teacher as well. The third question is an important one as well. So here we are. In the past 24 hours, has your child felt feverish or had a measured temperature greater than 100.4 degrees Fahrenheit? If your child has felt feverish or has had a fever, do not bring them to campus. My recommendation is that you take your child's temperature every single morning, maybe before breakfast, after breakfast, while they're brushing their hair, while they're brushing their teeth. Just keep the thermometer out on the kitchen counter or perhaps in the bathroom, so that as a reminder of like, hey, we need to make sure we take your temperature because you're going to school today. We want to keep everybody safe. Number 4 is, over the past 24 hours, has your child or anyone living in the household had any of the following symptoms that are not related to another condition? The symptoms that we are specifically looking for are fever, a new cough, vomiting, or diarrhea. So a few months ago, Runny nose was one of the COVID symptoms that was on our screener. That has changed. If you have any of these symptoms that are related to another condition, we need a doctor's note before you would bring your child to campus. My recommendation is that if you have questions about symptoms, you reach out to Mrs. LeBate, who is our health clerk at Washington. She's a wonderful resource for our families, and she will talk you through what your next steps would be if your child does have some symptoms. We know that a lot of kids get allergies and things like that. If your child comes to campus and they're coughing, we're going to send them home, even if it's allergy related. If you have a doctor's note, that's a different story. So reach out to Mrs. LeBate with specific questions related to symptoms. And then number 5 is, in the past 10 days, has your child come into close contact within 6 feet for 15 minutes or more with someone who has tested positive for COVID-19? So this is the one that we really need to be thoughtful about. If your child has been in close contact, and the way that the CDC and the Los Angeles County Department of Public Health, define close contact is within 6 feet for 15 minutes or more with someone who has tested positive for COVID-19. If they have been in close contact and you answer yes to this, you're not going to bring your child to campus. So if you answer yes to any of these screening questions in the morning, the right thing to do is do not bring your child to campus and immediately contact your child's teacher and also the school office so that we know that your child's going to stay home. They can certainly log on and learn from home. They will not be marked absent if they log on and they participate in their class. That's one of the wonderful things about our hybrid model. Our parents have options. But we really want you to be thoughtfully answering these questions accurately every single day. We're so excited to bring our kids back, and the number one way to keep our schools open is for all of us to be honest and take responsibility for our actions, make sure that we are answering the screening questions correctly. When you drive up at Washington and you are bringing your child to campus, pending that you've answered no to all of the screening questions, you are going to have an arrival zone. So on this bell schedule, just went to our school and bell schedule. Here's our page. We have our arrival window times. We have our dismissal times. We've even put so much detail in here as to label when snack and recess are happening by classroom or grade level. And then down here, this chart tells you where you're going to go. So in a minute, I'm going to show you our campus map so that you can see where the zones are, but you can see which classes are getting dropped off where. Mrs. Baird and Mrs. Romero's class, you are going to be dropped off on the CDC side of our Washington campus. The health ballet is the same for CDC as it is for Washington. So when you arrive to campus, here's our dismissal information as well. When you arrive to campus and you pull up, if you're in Mrs. Baird or Mrs. Romero's class, you're going to enter campus down here. A staff member will take your child's temperature and then will also ask you if you have answered the screening questions that morning as well. They will not go through all of the screening questions with you, because if you put your child in your car or you put speakers on your child and you walk to school with them, we are assuming that you have answered no to all of our screening questions. So Mrs. Baird and Miss Senior Romero's classes are going to enter down here because they are occupying CDC room 5 and CDC room 6 currently. If your child is in Mrs. Hale's class, Mrs. Smith's class, Senorita Rodriguez's class, or Mrs. Cook's class, and you're in kindergarten, you are going to enter our parking lot down at the bottom, and you are going to either arrive at zone 2, that's Mrs. Cook's class, or zone 1 for Mrs. Smith, Senorita Rodriguez, and Mrs. Hale's class for kindergarten. And again, looking up on this chart, you can see that our kindergarten arrival window is between 8:15 and 8:25. First grade and second grade, all first grade classes are going to enter at zone 2. So that's right here. It's basically our main double doors where our students typically entered when we could have all students enter through one door previously. This is zone 2. So all first grade classes are going to enter through zone 2. All second grade classes are going to enter campus through zone 3. on our campus map. So those are the arrival locations. Dismissal locations are pretty much the same with the exception of second grade rooms 10, 11, and 13. You are going to pick your child up out of zone 4. We're trying to space kids out as much as possible. At dismissal, we need to maintain a 6-foot distance for all students and teachers at all times as much as possible. So that's why we're spreading our kids out. I know that this will be a change for a lot of families because we've had a campus where we've been able to kind of talk to one another and get to know, say hi and, chit chat a little bit for our families at arrival and dismissal. And that does make us sad that right now we can't do that. But that doesn't mean that it will never be that way again. We're going to get through COVID. We're going to get through this pandemic as a strong, connected community. And when we come out of it on the other side, we'll be able to chit chat a little bit more. Our staff assigned to traffic support will be reminding our families that we really need to just drop our child off, have them go through the health screening, and then the parents are going to need to exit our parking lot quickly and efficiently. If you walk your child to school, we will be kind of moving traffic along so that there isn't any loitering. That is all that we wanted to review with you today. There's more information on our website, and we just want you to know that we are doing our best to keep everyone safe. Right now, students in grades 3rd through 5th are remaining in a 100% distance learning model at this time, so their schedule has not changed. As soon as we have information about additional grade levels, perhaps entering the hybrid model, we will let you know. Enjoy the weekend, and we cannot wait to see your children at school next week.